Hello, everybody. Good morning. Just getting my theme song geared up. My camera, I had to get that working.
The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. The real nitty-gritty.
What's her?
Boots on the ground.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from. Thank y'all for stopping by today. The subject today is why do foreigners overspend in the Philippines. Of course, this is always your live stream. We'll talk about whatever you want to. Just put in the comments. We'll get to it when we can. What's up to the NTZ crew? I see Michael Beach Alive. Here's Jacob Tanjay. Thank y'all. I want to say what's up to the viewers who will be joining me on the replay. Also, any new viewers and subscribers, and also my regulars. There's people like John Gomez. I see you, brother. Derek. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. This looks like a new guy here, a new person here. Not Derek. Fish on aqua beard. What's up, Kamal? Hey, Roger. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everyone in America. It's already Thanksgiving over here. We don't celebrate it here. I know a lot of expats do, but I don't. The Philippines as a whole does not celebrate. The engineer, he introduced me to a couple, and their niece is married to a foreigner, and he introduced them to Thanksgiving several years ago, and because of that, they're raising wild turkeys up in the Don Salvador Mountains, believe it or not. No, not the Don Salvador Mountains. The other mountains above Calatrava. They liked it so much. The peso is 56.77. Still great. I mean, still a great rate. I'm never going to complain if it's 50 or more. I want to give a shout out to Sammy Davis from Lawton, Oklahoma. He sent me a Valak buying box yesterday. Had a lot of nice things in it. This t-shirt I have on is polyester, by the way. It's not cotton, man. It's nice. It's light. He sent me underwear, plenty socks. I never need to buy another pair of socks. He sent me one pack of Adidas socks over here. I gave them to Maryland because they're too small for me, but one pair of Adidas socks, authentic Adidas socks, Sammy, that you sent me, they're about 800 pesos for one pair. You sent me 6. So thank you for that. Sent Booby a doll. She hasn't put it down yet. There's a bunch of stuff, a vino, 2 types of a vino. I was going to make a video about it, but I said, no, I better not do that. Maybe I'm feeding the trolls again. He said, I need that rate to get back over 58. Also, man, I've got an interesting interview coming up. I'm going to interview this guy today. He's a young Australian guy. He's been living in the Philippines for 1 year with his parents. His mother's Filipina, father's Australian. And he's strictly from the manosphere. I mean, he's so out there, man, that it's funny, man. And I mean, it's funny. It makes you laugh. And you're going to find this guy interesting, man, like I did, because he's the first one that really explained all this red pill, blue pill, simp, manly man, this old manosphere stuff. And I think you're going to enjoy it because he practices it over here. And of course, this guy looks like something out of GQ anyway. He's 30 years old. He's Australian. He's never been to America before. But he's a big Kevin Samuels fan. He's a big Andrew Tate fan. So he's on that line. You guys are going to like him, man. But by the way, anybody out there who says I'm a simp, he says I'm not a simp, which I know I'm not. But from somebody that knows, that made a lot to me. It made a lot of sense to me, rather. One more thing before we get, two more things before we get started. Filipino time is real. Remember that we're guests in the Philippines over here. I don't care if you're an expat or not. And Filipinos have their own way of doing things in their own time. It may drive you crazy for a long time. You may never get used to it, but I just want to let you know that it's real. So don't come over here and get an attitude. And it's anything from paying bills. Maybe they owe you money. Maybe you hired them to do a job. Whatever it is, it's on their own time, and they have their own way of doing stuff. I wanted to put that out there. Also, guys, listen, I say this from time to time, but I know I got a lot of new viewers and subscribers and people on the live stream. Do not send me those links to those troll channels, okay? If they're trolling me, who cares? They have no credibility. They have no authority. It's nothing life-threatening. It's not, world event news, okay? The less I know, the better off I am. All they're wanting is attention. I don't give them any at all. So please don't send me those. You're actually helping to keep that stuff going. Whenever you share the video, like and comment and all that, don't even argue with them, guys. They're not giving you any information that's credible. One last thing. To all you guys who are coming over here for the first time or however many times you've been here, start sharing your information with us. Your experiences with us. We need the feedback, good or bad. Did you run into a good hotel, a bad hotel, a good restaurant, a bad restaurant? You understand what I'm saying? It will really help. Don't just come over here and keep all that information and take it back with you. It doesn't do anybody any good. Share that stuff. It really helps us, guys. 40 Acres said, did you see the Filipino P episode about Passport Bros? No, I don't. I actually don't watch her. And there's nothing that she could tell me that's really pushing that conversation forward. If it was, I would have watched it, but I know it's not. It's nothing new on these videos, guys. It's nothing earth-shattering. It is what it is. You got to understand. 2 years ago, I did a video. I just didn't call it Passport Bros because I didn't know what a Passport Bro was. I said, you will be attacked when you come to the Philippines. I said, foreigners will be attacked when they come into the Philippines. And I've already talked about this stuff. I didn't even know what it was. I just know that they're going to hate on you when you come over here. Or anywhere, really. It's nothing new about this stuff, guys. Come on. But I'm not disrespecting her. I respect her. She's built a tremendous channel, but I just don't watch her. She doesn't speak to me. And I'm sure I probably don't speak to her. Hey, W Secrets to Success. Thanks for stopping by again, brother. I appreciate your support. Hey, Coach Jay, he's coming next month again. I know you got that big school holiday coming up, man. I know you liking that. He said, what's good, my guy? No school, no practice, finally able to catch you live. Well, I appreciate you, man. We'll be here whenever you get here. I know you're going to Thailand first. And I'm going to tell you something, man. The thought of me being in Thailand with my son, see, he got a son, Coach Jay does. That's, I believe he's in the service, right? He's in Japan somewhere, and they're going to meet in Thailand, man. That's just unbelievable. I would that would really make my day if I could do something like that. But hell, my sons are 10 and 12. And by the way, I'm gonna have to head back down to Zamboanga to visit my son because he's scheduled to go to America next month. He's going. So if I don't see him now, there's no telling when I'll see him again. But yeah, I'll be down that way again. I'm buying his ticket to the United States in the morning. Freddie C says, I sent the Filipino Wanderer to you for a possible panel guest. Yeah, thank you. I want to hear from more women like that, just to get their perspective. I'm trying to get them to really talk about the things that really matter over here. I'm really disappointed, man, in a lot of Filipino and Filipino vloggers who are speaking to us, not the ones who are doing the other things online on YouTube, but the ones that they keep talking about the same stuff. It's nothing new, our Filipinos crazy in bed and all that stupid stuff, man. It's not going to do us any good. They've got pertinent information. They're just not going to share it. It's in their culture not to do it. So, because one guy says, hey, how can I help the girl that had her heart broke? And I said, it's impossible to help her because, first of all, they're going to keep that inside. They're not going to share it with you. They're not going to share their hurt with you. And then they're certainly not going to accept any help. But, because Sharon Lapu Lapu wants to, a friend of hers says, hey, why don't you let her be interview you? And I'm like, first of all, it's not going to push this conversation further anyway. All she's going to do is ask me those same simple questions. Now, see, if I turn it around and start asking her the real nitty gritty, she's not going to answer them back because she's got nitty gritty. She's got a history of nitty gritty. And it's not that, y'all see how much we've helped Sharon. It's not because I don't like Sharon. I wish her the best. And she's going to be successful because she's got some good topics, but they've got a lot of information that they could share with us. They're just not sharing. So anytime you can send one my way, hopefully the Filipino lipstick will take my cue because she wants to interview me. Okay, be careful what you wish for because I'm going to interview you. And, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And if you don't want to answer, that's good. But this is no game over here. We're trying to win over here. I didn't come over here for all that dating and that's it. Hey, Barry says, I'll be in Dumagetti this weekend staying at the Henry Resort. Where is that, Barry? Can you give us some information on that? Because I may be in Siquijor Saturday. I may, if my friend, I'm trying to get him out of his apartment, man. He's been here and he won't go anywhere. We had lunch yesterday and I'm trying to get him to just, get out of his shell a little bit more. He hasn't, he's been here, I guess, next month will be 6 months. He hasn't been to a beach yet. And since Siquijor is not that far from here, 4.5 hours to Dumagetti, then 30 minutes there. I said, come on, man, let's spend the weekend there. Okay, he's 20, stationed in Japan. Okay. Coach said, trying to get him to go to the Philippines with me, but he's going to come when I come in June. Yeah, don't have him all the way over here, Jay, and not even, touch the shore, which is, I don't understand why people do that. They come all the way to Thailand, Vietnam. Matter of fact, my guest over here, Derek, he invited me to go to Vietnam, and I may take him up on, well, not may, I will. It'd be on a whole different level for somebody from Vietnam to take me to Vietnam. That's why I gave you guys Mr. Lee. I'm not promoting Mr. Lee. I'm just telling you, he's a friend of mine. If you go to Thailand and you really want to see Thailand, if you haven't been there and you don't really know your way around, he's going to show you everything, the ins and outs, the best restaurants, all the sites. So let's get on this, why do foreign visitors overspend in the Philippines? I think one of the reasons is we're trying to create a lifestyle that we have over here. Is that even possible? So what we do is we overspend trying to recreate our life over here, which, by the way, is a bad mistake. You don't want to do that. I want everything to be fresh. I want everything to be new when I come over here. I want a new experience. it defeats the purpose for me to come over here and want to just live the way I live there. So let's talk about it. How are some ways that we can avoid overspending? Okay, here's one way. Of course, it's experience. If you've been here many times, you're going to know the difference. You're going to know what restaurants to eat in and everything like that to get your money's worth, right? You're going to know the resorts to stay or which ones to stay away from. Because if you're spending 150 in America or England or whatever, then you come over here and you think, oh, 60 is a deal when you can get the same thing for 30. Why not get the 30? But I just see my channel's here to help you, man. I'm not here to do anything else really. And I think what a lot of people miss is the fact that I'm here. They're listening and you know, to too much of what I'm saying and trying to figure that out instead of saying, you know, look, this guy's sitting over there. He's no smarter than me. He's no better looking than me, but he's there and he's winning and he's living a good life. Maybe if I, you know, pay more attention to that, it can help me. Because I overspent over here for a lot of years. Thank you, Clarence. I'm sorry, I clicked on it for a reason. For your super sticker. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. But experience is one way. And that's why I asked you today, guys, if y'all over here and you run into a good deal or a bad deal, let us know. There was one guy, he said there's a Fuji hotel in Manila. No, in Cebu, over by Seaside. He never gave us a price, though. He was talking about beautiful views. He didn't say whether it was 2, 3, 4 star. Well, you know, this is a country of brown women, of brown people. You're not going to have a problem, but, you know, if that's your preference. She may be brown skinned, but don't have anything else you're looking for. How would that work out then? So I would say keep an open mind as far as that concerned. Another way to prevent from overspending would be, of course, to research. You know, you got Google. We're in an age of information, and anything about anything is on the internet. But a lot of times we don't even do that. I certainly didn't do it. My first trip to the Philippines, if you don't know, I spent $2,500 just for 1 week because I went to a travel agent and he put me with Korean Air and this fancy Crown Regency hotel over here. $2,500 US for only 1 week. I had to extend a week because, of course, a week over here is not enough, guys. I mean, really. But if that's all you can stay, okay. But I didn't know any better. I just got on the plane and came over here, remember? He busted my head with that one. And for the first few trips, I wasn't paying any attention. I was spending a lot of money over here. But now that I know better, I try to share that with everybody. That's why I gave you Heidi's Cabin. That's why I gave you the Tip Top. And whenever it's in my head, when I'm staying someplace and I say, hey, this is a decent place, I might as well put this on my channel. I'll do that. But because we're building a community and we have so many other people over here now, give us y'all's feedback, man. What's going on? Hey, David Craycroft, thanks for that super sticker. He says, I don't see many brown women on most vlogs. Well, see, it's only a handful of vlogs, Geechee Line. When you come over here, you're going to see the gamut. Last Saturday, and this is no joke, last Saturday, I rode the bus down to Bacolod to buy those 2 pair of shoes for the birthday of the women at the gym. And one of the most beautiful, she looked like, her skin color was like mine. She was about as beautiful as a woman as I've ever seen. I actually seen her in the day before because she's working here. She got a white shirt and black pants. That means, what do they call that? OJT? What do they call it? Yeah, OJT. That's what she's doing. Or, she's not permanent at the job she's working. Whatever it was, I was going to save more and I saw her. I was like, wow. I mean, she's fine. So you're going to see all colors over here, man. Alexander said, I want to come from 3 months. Yeah, that's a good plan. I say bring as much money as you can afford and stay for as long as you can, especially the first time. He said, bruh, the coach said, bruh, sometimes you got to take what you get and not throw a fit when it comes to limited time visiting the Philippines. Man, see, this is what, you get it, man. See, this is what I was talking about when I said, shut the fuck up and play the game. If I'm over here for 2 weeks, why am I going to go around and around in circles with women over here and with people and everything over here? Okay? That's all I'm saying. Who's wrong about P? Not me. I don't put nobody down. Maybe you're talking about somebody else. I'm just saying that she doesn't speak to me. I don't relate to her because before I had my channel, I would click on her, but I didn't get anything from that. So, if you're talking to me, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's not about people being on my side, David. You're getting the wrong impression. Her being on my side is not going to help me. I mean, I'm just saying that I don't watch her channel. I guarantee you, go and ask her if she watches mine and see what she says. She's going to say no. All right? It's just that simple, man. I mean, don't take that personal. I mean, I'm just one guy. That woman's got over 150,000 subscribers. There's no telling. I mean, she's got success. She would be considered a celebrity, I would say. I know when y'all see her in person, you're going to shit your pants. You guys have really put her way up there on that pedestal, man. And, she would be considered a celebrity over here. And there's nothing wrong I can say about her. I mean, she's doing it, okay? However she's doing it. Haywood Robinson says, hey, once I found your channel, I canceled a lot of other channels. It became boring and repeat the same BS. They're bragging about, they're a woman, no content. And that's what goes on with a lot of the troll channels, man. They just don't have any content. So what's easier than there's somebody right now, recording this live stream, and then they're going to go through it and see if there's anything that they can make a video out of. What kind of, but there's a lot of that on YouTube now in different genres, not just the Philippines, as a matter of fact. What do you mean as a polygamist? You mean one woman or with more? W Secrets to Success says, I will be staying at the Bay Hotel in a few weeks. The pictures, food selection look nice. Hopefully that will be the case. Well, they're going to make it look good. I got food one time. The first time I ever took my kids. No. The second time I took them to Florida. The first time I took them to Fort Myers. The second time we went to Destin, Florida. We stayed right across from Fort Walton Beach. I'm almost sure of that. And this Days Inn that I booked, oh, man, it looked beautiful. And when I got there, it was the worst hotel. I felt so embarrassed. I felt bad for my kids because I knew, we eventually got out of there and moved down the street. He says, I plan on to avoid overspending. Yeah, we all do. But for some reason, it doesn't work out because you got a lot going on in your mind. Will Sutton said, guys, make sure you rent a place with a kitchen so you or your girlfriend can cook delicious meals. Yeah, I agree. And this is one of the reasons why I try to get an Airbnb. If you're in Dumagetti and you're at Heidi's Cabin, see, she's got that. A nice kitchen with modern, it's outside, but it's covered. But you've got everything you need to cook your own food. You know who's touching it, the sanitation and everything like that. What's up, Yusuf? What's up, Louise? I hope you got that listing. I sent it to you in the Patreon. Greg Johnson, what's up, Calvin? Thanks for bringing Claire on the panel Filipino lipstick the other day. Oh, yeah, she's smart, and I think, if she doesn't get influenced by the wrong people, because that could easily happen. See, here's the thing that I want anybody out there that's even thinking about starting a channel. All views are not good views. When you start going on these channels, you got to be careful who their audience is. There was a Filipino vlogger that wanted me to come on his channel, and I went through his comments, and everybody on his channel hates me. I'm like, so why would I come on your channel? I asked him. I don't need that kind of exposure. Hey, Macton Barber says it's almost like the first time in the Philippines when we were in the U.S. Navy in the 80s and 90s. A seller would burn through that, $300 to $400 paycheck on a Filipino in 2 nights. Those days are over. No, they're not. I wish they were. And I did the same thing in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, except I spent my whole paycheck in 1 night. It doesn't help that you're drinking and you're drunk. And if you've ever been to Brazil, man, oh my God. Believe it or not, that's a place. But it's not the Philippines, it's Brazil. And you get in where you fit in. It's a lot of fantasizing going on in Brazil, where over here, it's more reality. Trust me, it's more reality. You have more of a real chance of meeting somebody and being with a dream girl. I mean, Derek's got a beautiful woman over there, but he's not the only one. I'm just saying, he went to Brazil. I don't know if he'd have that like that. I mean, it would cost him a whole lot more. Clarence Wilkerson said, no problem, Cal. You guys, meaning you and Mel, give out useful advice, and the so-called simps are winning over here, and it's unfortunate that many are still jealous, but life is good for us here. Thank you, Clarence, for co-signing that, man, because you're right. I don't give a damn what you call me. Just call me winning. That's all. Now, another way you can prevent overspending, because you're going to do it the first time you're here, because everything's going to look like a deal to you. It's word of mouth. It's what I'm trying to get people to do now. Share your experiences, guys. When me and Marilyn went to Sicky Hall a couple of weeks ago, I showed y'all that place. It was $21 per night, right across from the beach. It was called MJ, I think it was MJ Bungalows. If you need the link, I can easily go on my Airbnb account, pull up the link and email it to you or messenger it to you. Freddie C said, I need those chips not to overspend. The Maxim app has saved me a lot versus Grab. Okay, now, is that Maxim app, is that something that's available over here? Well, see, this is what I'm saying. And I think people are missing this point right here because they're just trying to argue and they're trying to see where I'm not right and they're right. Because, we're fascinated with being right. He says, I'm more successful here than I was back in America. So if I'm a simp, then I'm a very successful simp piece. And this is what I'm trying to say when I talk about the Philippines is trending. Because some guy gets in the comments and says, "Oh, well, they trending toward inflation." No, they're trending. They're becoming more popular, a more popular destination for a lot of men, and women. A lot of people are stopping and taking a good look at the Philippines. I built a house last year for $20,000. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. Not the house like this. Can you build a house for $20,000? Absolutely, a good one, but it won't be mine because everything's going up. It's not going to be the same. Okay. Same thing with the guest house. There's no telling how much this property and stuff is going to be worth in 5 years. So that's why I say, hey, come over here now. Even if it's a condominium, things don't go down in the Philippines. They always go up. Hey, John Gomez, he said, Calvin, what do you think of getting an Airbnb for the length of the stay and make it your base? Well, that's a good idea. And a lot of my friends do that. Franz Pracio Jr., he does it. The only thing about that is, remember, you're going to be paying twice for your accommodations. So you're going to be overspending, basically. If I knew where I was going to go before I got here, meaning if I had an itinerary, then I would only have a place to stay everywhere I'm going. So if I'm going to be in Cebu for 2 weeks, I'm going to stay there 2 weeks. I'm not going to stay there pay for the whole month and then go to Bantayan Island, then Boracay, and have to pay there too. See, that's how we overspend. I was telling Vince Lawson, and I hope he's watching here. See, he was paying 2 apartment rentals at once when he didn't have to. His excuse was, well, I want to get the apartment before somebody else gets it. Well, no, that's not a good enough reason for me to be paying 9,000 pesos per month. But that's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do. Share our experience, strength, and hope with people. Happy Thanksgiving again to anybody that just joined the live stream. It's Thanksgiving here already in the Philippines. I don't celebrate it over here. All right. But there's a lot of expats that do. I don't, because it's just a lot of stuff over here you couldn't get. But the spirit is over here. Okay, Gangster Gummy Bear said, let's just say you're going to see a woman a lot darker than what you would find in Japan or Korea and China and the Philippines. The people are dark over there. A lot. A lot of blacks are in the Ada tribes. Yeah, but guys, don't get, skin color is so shallow to me. It's about the shallowest thing that you could even be talking about, guys. But you got your preferences. If that's what you want, then, what do you consider dark anyway? I'm not dark. When I'm in America, I'm a lot lighter than this because, of course, the winter months, and I'm in the house most of the time or in my car. But what do you consider dark anyway? Mike Dawsonville says, but Calvin, that was 2009. Now with the evolution of the internet, things are easier to get a better deal. Well, that's what I'm saying. Research, Mike. That's what I'm talking about. Google anything that you want to know about, you can Google it. And that's one of the ways to stop you from overspending. But we're going to overspend anyway because we're going to be so excited. Everybody wants to do things at the last minute. So if you already know you're coming in January, you should already have your plans already. You got your ticket. Well, why not go ahead and book your place? Tim LaRue says, I love your walking and talking content. But so you feel the need to have a car now? Absolutely not. Not me. Now, Marilyn, we're thinking about sending her for driver's lessons. We can rent a car and go different places, but no, they say don't ever say never. I would never drive here. I would never drive a motorcycle. A bike is about the only thing I'm going to drive over here. Freddie C says Maxim is 1/4 the cost of a grab rack. Okay, is that available in the Philippines? Have you ever heard of Maxim app? You know, like the grab app. Have you ever heard of Maxim?
No.
She's never heard of it. Yeah, that's right. Not all areas have grab car service. Well, St. Carl City doesn't have it. I don't think Dumagetti has it. They may have it though, but I don't see. I'm trying to think. Do I even see any taxis in Dumagetti? Do we? No. Will Sutton said, yeah, okay. Jacob Tanje said the haters will not be sustainable. I know. I don't get it. You know, people have promising channels, then all of a sudden they want to turn into trolls. And I don't get it. But hey, you guys them. What's up, Chi-Town 38? He said, hey, Cal from Crazy Chicago. Hell, it's all crazy. Where did the people get killed in Walmart the other day? Where was that? Yeah, see, here's what I'm talking about. See, she's just a regular woman, guys. You know, he said, when I see P, something may happen in my pants, but not that. You know, you're going to overspend when you get over here. I can guarantee you that. Okay, you lived in Fort Walton Beach. I loved it there. I got a friend who's a barber there. And I've only been there that one time, and we stayed, I believe, 5 or 6 days. I really enjoyed it. Especially those oysters, Rockefeller. We had a big thing of oysters. It was oyster Rockefeller, then the oyster with the cheese and you know the baked oysters. It was delicious, man. Haywood Robinson says, Calvin, my rent went up $260. Eviction is on the rise in the USA. They are showing no mercy. I know I saw that. I'm trying to think, where did I see that? I believe it was Tampa, Florida. I saw a documentary or something about that. Thank you for that super chat, brother. Haywood Robinson. Okay, the Beach of Life said Maxim is a motorcycle delivery franchise, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so yeah, it's going to cost you a lot less if you want to ride on the back of them motorcycles and put them little bitty helmets. The helmets that they have, guys, they only come here on my big head. And then they're sweaty from all those other people wearing the damn helmet. And yeah, I look real crazy. I look like one of them little circus monkeys riding on the back of them things. If you want to do that, because they're weaving in and out of traffic, and it's crazy, man. You know, I didn't have no choice when I got to Zamboanga because it was at nighttime, and you don't want to hang around down by that pier at night. Okay, just take my word for it. So I put on the little damn helmet that reaches to here, and he's got my big suitcase in front of him, and he's going about 70 kilometers an hour. If you want that. Okay, Virginia Walmart. See, this is a long way from Chicago. But it's crazy when you think about that. These people are shopping in Walmart. Now he says, Andy A says, I work for Walmart in asset protection. It's crazy. What is the situation? What happened with that? Well, see, here's where I got to disagree with you on here. I'm not shocked it was a brother. What I'm shocked is why more black people don't go crazy over there and do that kind of stuff. That's what I'm shocked about, that there's not more black terrorist groups and stuff like that. That shocks me. If there should be any terrorists in America, any American homegrown terrorists, they should be black, but for some reason we don't. And I know why we don't. It's a whole other discussion, but no, it doesn't shock me. I was going to be one of those guys, Chi-Town 38. I tell y'all this all the time. The Philippines saved my life. I was this close from going off. When them police kicked in my door by mistake and terrorized my family, Man, y'all don't know what I was getting ready to do. I've never owned a gun. Man, y'all just don't know. I had to get out of there. That's a fact. Yeah, so no, I'm not shocked. I'm shocked that there's not more people going off over there. They've had their foot on our necks, man, for centuries. I got tired of it. That's why I left. You want to argue with me? Well, let's argue. T. Holmes said the FBI knocked them down back in the 60s. Well, those weren't terrorist organizations, though, to be honest with you. Okay, Mr. Monbarase says, what bank would you say I should bank at? Well, they've got a lot of great banks over here, believe it or not. It's about, I call them the top 5. And I may miss one. PNB, which is what I'm a part of, BDO, BPI, Metro Bank, China Bank. I'm pretty sure there's more in Metro Manila, and there's a lot of banks over here, but those are the 5 that I'm familiar with. Now you can't just come over here and open up an account, by the way, and you're more likely to get approved in a smaller place like this than a larger place like Cebu. I know Franz has had a hell of a time opening up a bank account. Okay? But John told me, he said, Calvin, you don't have that to worry about. He said, go to PNB here. And they did. They took my passport, copy of my passport, my driver's license, and my ACR card. Well, I've got a helmet, but I'm not going to carry that helmet with me when I leave from San Carlos City going to Cebu. Hold up, guys. Let me get something to drink. Brother, can you hand me a drink? One of my waters. Thank you. Salamat. Yeah, what you look like carrying that helmet around all day? Then wherever you go to the bank, you go to the mall. Where are you going to put it? He said the best advice is staying off those motorcycles. But hey, that's me. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a choice, Beach of Life, when that typhoon hit, because what made me, it's the only time I ever questioned why I was here, because the taxi drivers acted a donkey in Cebu. They were passing people up looking for the big fare, and instead of doing what normally happens here, see, normally, Philippines, they have so many disasters that people rally together, and they really got something to be to admire when it comes to helping each other. But those couple of days I was there after that typhoon, man, I was really disappointed. They'll stop and roll down the window, and then you say, where you going? They say, no, and keep going. They cut off their meters. And I'm saying, look, this is a national disaster. Okay. The suspect was a manager. He shot himself in the end. Do we even know what happened, though? Oh no, I don't let them get to me, man. I don't let them get to me. I done figured it out now. Clarence Wilkinson said PNB is an awesome bank. My pension is going there. BDO is okay, and Security Bank and Union Bank also good options, but PNB is a good bank for expats. PCI. I've got it. I don't have any problems. I transfer from my Fifth Third over to here, no problem. Sometimes it happens the same day. It just depends on what time it is in America. If I do it in time, I guess whatever the cutoff time is, if I do it before the cutoff time in America, it'll be in my account, the same day. You got to realize I'm 12 hours ahead, though. He said, how do I file my taxes? Well, I've always filed my taxes TurboTax online. So I just do it over here. It's no different. Will Sutton says, I haven't been on a motorbike in the Philippines, but I am very careful driving a car since my Airbnb didn't have a Grab service. Also, you do have a car, right? So you rented a car? See, yeah, this is a great point right here. Justin Carmack said, one benefit of living in the Philippines is not having to watch the news and politics in the USA. Don't bring me drama. I say all the time to foreigners trying to bring it with them. Yeah, that's right. That's a great point because I don't watch the news over here. I very seldom know what's going on unless it flashes on Facebook and you can believe half of what you see, some of none of what you hear on there. Yeah, but see, you can't open an account the minute you get here. There's going to be some stipulations. You have to have your ACR card at least. Okay, he said there was a 50% sales at the SM Mall, and there was a 3-hour wait for a taxi. I had to adapt and was scared to ride the bike, but now it's my preferred mode of travel. So where are you? Are you in Cebu? You must be in Manila with a 3-hour taxi wait. Yeah, actually, Anthony, they cost more than the States for some reason. I think it has to do with some type of tax that's put on the cars over here. They're actually more expensive here than in the States. Otis Huff says, I got one question for you, Cal. What is the one telling sign that a Filipino is genuine? A lot of times, man, she'll ask you right off the bat, accept me for who I am. That's usually the telling sign for me. I mean, if you're talking about if you meet her online, right? If you meet her in person, the telling sign is she wants you to meet her family. Did you hear the young lady, Filipino lipstick? See, y'all were too busy watching her. You wasn't listening. She said, they date to marry. They date to marry over here. If the woman isn't serious with you, man, immediately, then yeah, that's a telling sign. They date to marry over here. That's why when you see them, when you meet them, if you don't pretend, if you're not pretending like you've been knowing each other forever and sometimes even like you're married already, then I would keep going. I've never not received that. Any woman I ever dealt with, the first day, from the very first day, we start acting like we were a married couple. Yeah, but he said when they start to bring you around the fam, yeah, that's one telling sign. But don't let the words fool you guys, and they do. Filipinos are sweet with their words, and because we're not used to hearing it, man, it draws us in, and man, you start sending that money. He says we all can start off genuine and end up going to the left. But it's usually cultural. It's usually something that you're not seeing right away because you start out. Remember the video I did. The reason why a lot of times these relationships don't work, especially the first one, you start out too fast. You shoot out like a rocket, then you run out of gas, and then you come crashing down. I think that's what happened to the young lady and the man that we did the video on the other day about, when Filipinos get their hearts broken, then they're going to take you on a magic carpet ride. And then after a while, when she's giving you everything, there's nothing else to give, you're saying you want more. So you think, well, I'm going to step out over here to the side because I want more. And you're going to realize there's no upgrade here, really. If you got a good woman it's really as good as you get, just being greedy. That's what I used to do. I used to be greedy over here. And that's really all it was. It wasn't nothing that the women were doing. It was just that I was greedy. It seemed so easy for me to reach out and grab and touch somebody. And that's what I was doing. Clarence said, yeah, I met Amanda online, and when I came here, I didn't have much, and I was upfront with her, and she never complained or asked me for anything. In fact, she helped me and said we can build together. Well, that's relevant, Clarence, when you say I didn't have much. To her, it's a lot. And this is what happens. Coach. We all get caught up in the newness and then the shine where it's all better build some equity. And this is where, do you have something in common with her? Do you get along with her? You have to be honest with yourself. Is it just sex? And then, because this is what happens to us, man. We think we want the woman. We think we're in love with her. We think this is the one. But really, when you take the sex out, there's nothing that's left. But, a telling sign, when you meet a Filipina to know if she's genuine, you really don't know what you got till you get here. And you got to take it slow. Because I believe they're all genuine in what they're trying to do. But, see, that question, Otis, is one that I get all the time. You just worded it differently, but it's the same. We want a guarantee. There's no guarantees over here. There's no guarantees over here. And if you're looking for a guarantee, you're not going to get it. You got to pay the dues. After a while, you'll know if you pick the right one or not. It's going to take a while. He said, let's produce a movie on the script. The storyline is going to sell. Where's the script? And nobody talks about that but me. I don't know why they don't talk about it. It's a script, and every woman I've ever met over here, they follow the script. It's never been different. I don't care if the woman was from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. That script is there. Whether they realize they're about the script or not, I don't know, but it's there. It's exactly the same thing. It acts the same, it works the same way. The only difference is after a while, you see what you really got. Some things you're going to have to deal with over here that just to say, okay, nobody's going to be perfect. So she may smack her food. Are you going to be able to deal with that? If you can, then okay. You say, oh, it ain't no big deal until they start smacking in your lips. In your ears. Okay? Are you going to be, it's just a lot of things you got to deal with, and she's got to deal with too. So only time will tell with that. Casey Wood said, with so many islands, how do express foreigners decide where to settle in? It's a great question because we follow each other. We don't look out. They all end up in the same place because that's all we're basically doing. People are going to Dumaguete just because somebody said Dumaguete's nice. They never go there and check it out themselves. Same with Manila, same with Cebu. That's why when people find places like San Carlos City, they stay here. They're shocked. There's no way in the world, had I not met Maryland, would I be here. I never knew anything about San Carlos City. I'd be in Cebu probably. Victor Al Johnson, hey, Cal, do you miss Thanksgiving holiday? I miss a lot of those holidays over there, to be honest with you. But I don't miss them anymore. But I like them. I like those holidays. Being around family and friends for those few days and stuff, all the good food. And it's just the feeling that comes over you. The weather and everything. Okay, Robert. Now, are you here still in the Philippines? He said, what up? I'm sorry about the StreamYard situation. The internet is funny and convenient. I wonder why. When that's supposed to be one of the nice places. Colin B says, what I did was spend time in her home instead of a hotel. See her daily routine. If you can handle that, then yeah. Well, I wouldn't do that right away. See, that's something that I think that would scare a lot of us off. I don't know if you want to do that right away. Go around it, yeah, but to stay there at night took me a long time before I finally stayed down in Zamboanga in her house, in her mother's house. Well, their house, because the mother would always want me to stay there. She didn't want me to stay in a hotel because she feared for my safety. But it took me a long time, and then when I did, it was no big deal, really. I mean, it's just some things that you may be uncomfortable with. Like when I was laying there one night, I'm reading my book. Here's this big ass spider coming across the ceiling and was pregnant. So it really looked hideous. And I didn't get no sleep that night. You know, it's just little stuff like that. The other stuff really it's not that bad, man. You know, you got a bed. You know, you got a bathroom. It's really not a whole lot. It just depends on where she lives and how they live. Some of the places you're not going to be ready right away. Ray Lewis says they are serious. They do date to marry. We owe it to them to let them know our intentions up front. You'd be surprised how many don't care. Still be generous with her. Yeah, but you don't want to. See, here's the thing, Ray, and you're right about they are serious. They do date to marry. But we put too much on the table too soon. We let them know everything. We put all our cards on the table, and that's how they have an advantage because they're sitting back, letting you run your mouth, letting you tell them everything about you. When you don't, they're just gonna barely give you little bits and pieces about their life. Yeah, they still point with their lips and their eyes too. Yeah, they got Santa Claus over here. Remember, the Americans were over here for 50 years. It was almost the law. You had to follow American culture over here. See, one thing I was talking about the other day, and this is kind of crazy. I was talking with Anthony, the guy that I'm going to interview today. You're going to like this guy, even if you don't agree with him or not. But I said, have you ever heard of the Filipino-American War? He said, no, I heard the Spanish-American War. And a lot of people watching now have never heard of Filipino-American War. We were never taught about that in school. The Spanish-American War, yeah. Stylish over 60 said, hey, what's up, Cal? We overspend because we want to impress. We don't need to do that. That's another reason why, Stylish over 60. Thank you for that. You're right. And we're going to do that for some reason. And that's why I say I think this is the reason why we send these women so much money over here. It's okay to treat a woman good, but we go overboard. We go way beyond what's even necessary. I'm telling you that when I met my wife and we went to the Tip Top, she's from Zamboanga, right? Grew up, you know, they didn't have much. They had love in their family. They didn't have a lot of money. Father had died when she was 14, right? When I took her to the Tip Top, then she was happy as a lark, man. Hell, back then it was $750 per night. Now it's $1250. That was 12 years ago. You know, a lot changed in that place. But when I met my son's mother, I bought the inexperience over here. When we were staying in all them fancy places, everywhere we went, it was 4 and 5 star. Henan, you know, Hang Lao, Boracay, wherever we went. And it got to the point where I was trying to impress her. But she was no more impressed. You know what really impressed her? When I walked up that damn mountain and met her family. There brought tears to her eyes. She could not believe it. When I told her I was going to go up there and meet them, I didn't know what lied ahead of me. I had no idea, because they come with those little motorcycles. And back in 2010, I was like, no, thank you. She said, okay, we're going to have to walk up then. And man, you talking about a walk. She said I was the first foreigner that's ever been up there. And it impressed her. I promise you, after that day, she fell in love with me more than any money or any fancy thing could do. I mean, really, there wasn't nothing she would not do for me after that. Robert Sanford says, I can't wait for you to get to 100,000 subscribers. YouTube gives you a plaque and some unexpected money. Wow, you're doing your thing. Do you have knowledge of that? I know the plaque. I didn't know the money. But I guess if the more successful I am, the more successful they are. Sam Champion says, tell them about those geckos on the ceiling that Filipinos don't try to get them out of the house. Well, the little ones, I'm trying to see if I have one here. They're easy to get used to. They're not going to bother you. They'll make that noise when they're either mating or trying to get the attention of the other ones. They'll just stand there waiting for whatever insects they eat. And they're just little. They're no more than about 2 or 3 inches long. Maybe a 1/4 inch wide or something. It's those big ones that stay up in these coconut trees and that you want to be afraid of. Marilyn took a picture of one, and when we were in Sikihor, this thing, the eyes alone will scare you. And they're not really big. They're only like 5 or 6 inches long. But Sam is right. They will not get them out of the house. We got a friend that lives right around the corner. They've had one. I've been here for 3 years. That gecko is still in there, the big one with the eyes, and it'll just scare you. And when they start yakking, you're not going to get any sleep. They go. But the little ones, they don't bother you. You need them around. You want them around because they eat a lot of them little bugs. Now, they don't eat ants for some reason. I don't understand that. I wish they did. Greg John says, I got a question. I spoke to a vlogger. They told me a lot of expats are down in South America. That's why I see Southeast Asia better. I don't know. I've never heard that. Now, I do know that Thailand has the highest incidence of expat deaths per capita. You know, remember they've got 49 million tourists every year, but they have the number one. They have the number one suicide rate among expats for some reason. Well, not really. You know, that's something that I won't. You know, I've been married twice before. It's no big deal. Marriage is no big deal to me. I don't know how it would benefit me in any kind of way. It would. That way I could get a permanent resident visa if I wanted it. But at my age in life, I mean, what is being married? What does that do, really? What's the benefits of that, really? Evan and Jean Travel says, I think you need to meet her in person before you invest a lot in her. Oh, absolutely. That's a fact. But the problem is Filipinos, they're sweet with their words. It gets us every time. I'm all yours, they'll say. And they'll say, oh, I love you so much. And thank God that you came into my life. And they'll say stuff like that to you online. And you can't, and you see this little cute woman and, perfect shape and everything like that. It gets you, man, catches you off guard. I'll do anything for you. And all of that. And you're saying, wow, really? And then they back it up when you get here. They hit you with that double whammy. But yeah, a lot of reasons we overspend. Like he said, we're trying to impress somebody. Everything looks like a deal. It's not a deal over here, guys. Everything, you have to know what's a deal. You have to ask, is this a good price to pay for, a pair of shoes? They've got Yeezys in Bacala. I showed Merlin on camera. They got Yeezys at 12,000 pesos. Now, you may say, well, hell, they're 500 in America. There's no way you should be paying 12,000 pesos for a pair of shoes over here. It defeats the purpose. I don't care how much money you got. But they've got them. And I showed Merlin. I said, yeah, these are the Yeezys. They was 12,000. She couldn't believe it. Like, what? Well, yeah, they've got something. I don't think they call them iguanas, though, but they've got something that's big over here. But they don't even bother you. There's a YouTuber over here that's got one in his damn house. They won't get him out of there. This thing is big. There's no way I would live in there. And you say, oh, yeah, Unc, when you get that plaque, you're going to be surprised in your account by YouTube just giving you the heads up. Well, I don't know. I know Paul Old Dog New Tricks. I think he's approaching 100,000. I'm pretty sure that Filipino P has 100,000. Tim K has way over that. There's a lot of vloggers over here that have over 100,000. But I know you get the plaque. I just didn't know. No, I don't have SRV. But I tell you what, if I could afford it, once I get turned 62 and I get my pension, I'm going to apply for the military, that special military SRV, because you get so many benefits. I had no idea until I started talking to the people here. You can go to school here, you can work here. It's a lot of benefits to having that SRV, more than just being a permanent resident, going back and forth. And when I say work here, I mean you could actually apply for work for a Filipino company. I'm not talking about working remotely from the Philippines. That's a different thing, guys. And that's what the trolls try to put out there and say, oh, these vloggers, they're breaking their tourist, they're violating the terms of their tourist visa. No, we're not. In this day and age of people working remotely, I guarantee you a big percentage of tourists that come over here are working remotely while they're on their vacation. You have to shut down the whole tourist industry to weed that out. Juwan Ward said, that's true. I heard that pickup line when the Filipino says, I don't date Filipino men. They're trying to sound exclusive. Well, I don't know if they're trying to sound exclusive. They say that, though. But they'll gladly answer you, just like the young lady Tuesday, Clara said, he broke my heart. And that's usually the ones who are open. That's one of the reasons they're open to dating forums. It's like, it hurts so bad because they date to marry. So they're going to give it all to you as if they're going to stay with you for the rest of their lives. And when you disappoint them, man, I don't care if you're Filipino or not, it affects them. Well, I don't know about this. I don't want to do anything cheap. I don't want to overspend, but I certainly not going to do cheap. I'm not going to cheat myself over here because you don't have to. But there's some things you have to learn about a peso economy. We come over here, we come from a dollar economy, a pound economy. It's a difference in a peso economy. Because a guy asked me today on my messenger, he says he feels sorry for people who earn 385 pesos a day over here on their jobs. And I said, well, I don't see why you feel sorry for them. I said, the economy is set up for them to still be able to make it. because they do. Now, once we start figuring that out, not to live just like the Filipino, but if a Filipino can live off of $10 a day or less, what makes you think that you couldn't live off, what, $50 a day? I know you can over here. That would be $1,500 per month. That's a lot of money over here when you take into account. Okay, we ate lunch yesterday. A friend of mine, he took me and Merlin out to lunch. He bought 3 platters, which, I'm telling y'all right now, Mawani has burgers now. I mean, real burgers. They're delicious. They're off the chart. He bought 3 platters, which, the cheeseburger, the big cheeseburger. I'm going to put it on my community page after this. Fries. He bought Merlin the carbonara, the classic carbonara. He bought the pitcher of iced tea. Then he bought him a big thing of pudding to go. It was 1,040 pesos for all of that food. Now imagine if he just went in there by himself. So that was about $17 that he spent for all of that food in there. So that would have saved him. There's no way he could have ate all that by himself. You can't eat $50 worth of food in St. Carlos City a day. So it really is less affordable over here once you know what you're doing. But if you go to TGI Friday now in Cebu and eat, which their food is no better than the Mawani, you're going to spend $50 right there. When their cheeseburger, the same cheeseburger combo over here at Mawani was 185 pesos, right? You go to TGI Friday in Ayala Mall in Cebu, it's 800, 750 or 800. And the Mawani will run circles around it because the cheeseburger there is a 5 cheese burger with fries. That's all it's got. It's a flat burger, right, like this, with just the bun, the burger, and the cheese melted over top. Curtis Thomas says, yeah, man, my girlfriend told me she doesn't like Filipino men. She wants to be with me forever and has gotten my name and my face tattooed on her leg and arm. Well, yes, after she's been through all of that, heartbreak up and down, guys. Don't fool yourself. Filipinos go to bed at night dreaming of Filipino men. They don't go to bed dreaming of foreigners. Their matinee idols are Filipino. Hybrid 711 said one of the YouTubers that visited Thailand showed knockoff Yeezys for $20. He bought a couple of pairs and said they're nice. Yeah, they've got something over here called what's it called? Class A, where it's like the top of the line knockoff. But I've never seen any Jordans or anything like that. But you see Adidas, Nike, Air Force Ones and all that. They look just like them there. The comfort is not the same. Now, when you talk about Thailand, the food over there your money even goes further in Thailand. I'm going to say the value. But see, we're not talking about Thailand. We're talking about the Philippines. So, yeah, everything isn't a deal over here. Sam Champion, what's up? He said, first time is coming to the Philippines, just so you're not surprised when you go out to the mall or other places where people hang out. You're going to say, oh, my God, this is the land of short brown people. Yeah, I'm considered tall here, believe it or not. I'm 5'8". And, of course, I'm not tall at all. But, yeah, you're right. But remember, the Philippines is diverse. There's no one Filipino what they look like. Y'all think I'm joking, man. The Philippines is just as diverse as America with all the people, all the immigrants. But these are all immigrants in America. Most of the people here, they're Filipinos. They're just spread out amongst these 7,000 some islands, man. You got some of them damn near white. You got some of them that are cream color, look like, Spanish. You've got some that are dark like me. They run the gamut. There is no one Filipino and what they look like. Yeah, the SRV sounds perfect if you have that kind of money. Right now, I would need 20,000 with my situation. Darren, Darren got that kind of money. Darren Cooper, he spent the 20,000. People like him have that kind of money. Sydney, they have that kind of money. It's like, okay, 20,000 is nothing. Boom, it's 20,000. Me, I don't have that kind. I don't have anywhere near that kind of money. Even if they told me, hey, you can put it on installment. It's a lot of money, man. 20,000 at one time. But you got to realize it's always there. If you come over and get an SRV and pay, see, like Darren, he's married to a Filipino. What he could do, and I don't even know why he didn't think about it. He could just go ahead and get the 13A and have the same, permanent resident status, because he's not going to work over here. He's not going to go to school or anything like that, and get his damn 20,000 back. He's married to a Filipino. So if I were him, I'd have just got that 13A. I don't know, but maybe there's other reasons about it. No. He says, I think the residents that charge a lot of money are the ones who are relying on tourists and foreigners, correct? No. You got to understand, man, there's rich people here. A lot of them. If there's 108, this says 108 million Filipinos over here. Let's say, 10% will be 10 million people. 1% will be 1 million rich people. That's a lot of people. And I'm talking about some people over here are rich beyond anything you can ever imagine. A long time ago, I talked about that on a vlog. I said, not only will the poverty shock you over here, but the wealth will shock you too. There's rich people over here, far beyond anything you could ever imagine. He says, I make music, said Ma Awani. It's called Marie Awani. But here in the Philippines, they shorten that to Ma, M-A, Awani, A-W-A-N-I. You can go on the internet and see it. It's not, unless Michael Beach Your Life can put the link. He's eaten there before. But yeah, there's rich people over here. People is doing very, very well. Look at the guy who built my house. He just built him a brand new, his family just built a brand new, it's a car wash and a coffee shop / deli. It's called Roadster 95. It's nice, man. Really, he's got one of those little Sportster BMWs. He's got the big, y'all saw the big Toyota Land Cruiser, whatever it is that he drives around on a daily basis. He's in his 40s, man. He's in his early 40s. But there's just a lot of money over here, man. Believe it or not. Oswald Wallace said, Cal, what do you think about buying land and property from your Filipino family? A Filipino girlfriend and I plan to get married next year. Her mom and dad, aunts and uncles own large acres of land in Cebu. Well, it's a good idea. Because you're not going to get cheated. One thing that really you have to watch out for is a clear title over here. You can get a clear title, why not? But remember, it's going to be your wife's land. You can inherit it upon her death or something like that. Get a lawyer and talk about that. So, you're going to be buying land for your wife from her family under most circumstances. Now, what you could do is have that land you buy, have her lease it back to you for 25 years and stop her from being able to sell it or something like that. But talk to a lawyer, like I said. But absolutely, if you know that land is free and clear, because, man, there's nothing like land dispute over here. It's dangerous. It gets you killed in a minute. In a New York minute over here. He said, see one world over, said Calvin, I'm wondering what a good cell phone over there would cost. I've got a good Oppo phone. I paid $500 for this, but that's a lot of money, I would say. But $500. Has it been a good investment? Absolutely. Because that's my YouTube channel. I had a iPhone 7S that it went dead on me. I've got it around here. I'm going to see if I can get it fixed. But there's a lot of, for what you would want to do, I could buy Maryland. I bought Maryland phone for 6,000 pesos. An Oppo, but it's not this one. Same one I bought my son for his birthday. He says all young Asian women dream about the latest K-pop singers. No, it's not true. Coco Martin, Daniel Padilla, man, there's some guys over here, man, that these women will just simply fall down on. And they don't even have to look matinee idols. This guy who just left here, this rapper, I forgot his name, something E. Yeah, he's well in his 40s. They swooning all over him, man, They love their celebrities like Americans used to love their celebrities back in the 50s. See, we don't really have celebrities anymore. I'm talking about real live. I'm talking about just, Sammy Davis Jr. types, Frank Sinatra types. I'm talking about superstars, talented for real. We'll make a celebrity out of anybody now. But that's how the Filipinos are. They're in love with their celebrities over here, man. More than the K-pop. The foreigner, it's very few women that really deal with the foreigner over here, man. When I talk about Filipinos, I'm talking about the ones who have made a conscious decision to date us, which is very tiny amount. But all you need is one. It's enough that you're not going to have a problem finding one if that's what you want. Let's see. Mike M says, will the Pacific be as blue as it has been in my dreams? Get busy living, I get busy dying. Yeah, I'm getting ready to upload. I'm going to answer that for you. I'm getting ready to upload my video in the morning. Is going to be about island hopping, the island hopping experience that we had Monday. And see, I had backed away from island hopping. And when Maryland said, hey, the gym is going to take the boat out, they invited us. They just want us to bring the drinks. You want to go? I'm like, I was real skeptical. I said, the weather's going to have to be perfect for me to go. Well, the weather was perfect. The boat, they call it the Phantom 5. It's owned by 5 police here. They put their money together and built this boat a little at a time. It's like the Cadillac of the fleet. I was very impressed, man. And now it's got me wanting to go do it again. We went out to, and I'm going to show you the clear water. We went out to the sandbar. Then we went, and he just docked right in the middle of the ocean, just coral blue. And you could see the starfish in the bottom and let them swim and snorkel. Then we went to Sapaway Island. Then we came back home, man. One of the best times I've had in my 13 years over here. And I would suggest anybody to go island hopping when you get over here. Because I went one time in Lapu-Lapu. The first time I came to the Philippines, I never went back. But it's nice, man. I mean, it was really, really nice. The water was a perfect. You're going to see it on the video. You couldn't ask for better. I could have made a video on there. That's how quiet the motor was. But, it was a party going on. So you wouldn't have got anything out of it. So I talked behind it, kind of described our experience. But, oh, man, it was beautiful. Houses Lost Tribe says, I guess he's saying me and my wife for 26 years may move to the Philippines in the next 6 years. Yeah, a lot of Filipinos and their foreign husbands who are retiring in America, they're coming back here. There's a guy, let me see. Let me think of the name of his channel. He's in Vegas right now, but I believe it's Retired in Bohol. He's a Filipino. He was born here, moved to America, became nationalized, a national citizen there. Excuse me. Retired, moved back to the Philippines. Man, he built the most beautiful house in Bohol, man, right overlooking the ocean. I mean, right on the cliff, man. This thing is, I don't know how much he spent, but it's just an unbelievable house. I believe it's called Retard in Bohol. His name is Paco something. And we chat back and forth on Facebook. Man, a lot of them, I met Patrick and Nora at the gym the other day. They're moving back. They're in Florida now. I mean, I get it, though. I get it. A courtesy SRV. What is that? Can you explain that to me? Right, Mike. Yeah, they can cost up to $900. Yeah, you're right. Now, who buys that stuff? I don't know, but Nathan. But see, it shows you in America, you know, that capitalism just means that everything's for sale. That's all it means. That's all it means. If you look up the definition, it comes from the Latin word caput, which means the head. You use your head over there, you can get rich. But people don't know the meaning of words. A lot of words we use, we don't even know the definition of. It just means everything's for sale. And so they built this sneaker community over there. People are paying just unbelievable amounts of money for just gym shoes. Nathan Combs 11 said, what's some good brands in the Philippines? I'm not interested in finding a girlfriend. You know, not gay, but I'm more interested in doing photography and enjoy my beach chair and my coffee. Oh, bands over there. Well, hell, what's that one called? There's so many, I can't really think of them off the top of my head, but a lot of them are breaking up, just like over in America, and the lead singer's going solo. But Side A is one. What's the one where, I mean, they got some great bands over here. That's a fact. Go to Manila. These are the best ones are usually in Manila. You know, because Manila is like the LA of, you know, Southeast Asia. Go to Mall of Asia, then at night, somewhere around when it starts getting dark and the restaurants and bars start opening up, and you want to hear some good live music, that's where it is. It's right across from the Mall of Asia, that strip where it's got the big, you'll see the big Ferris wheel. Just about every bar and restaurant has a live band. I heard of so many, but one that stood out to me was a group. They were doing the stylistics review. Sounds just like it. I mean, they sound just like the stylistics. He said, Cal, you're right about that script. I had a Filipino say some people be tripping. Filipinos will adopt the language, style of dress, and the culture of a person they date. Oh, absolutely. She's going to know you up and down within that first week because she's going to watch everything you do. My son's mother, man, she started listening to the same music I was listening to. Yeah. Even when I would go back to the States, she'd be listening. We'd be on chat, and she'd be listening to Teddy Pendergrass and all of them. See, because they have a lot in common with us, but Marilyn had never heard of it. I remember I just met Marilyn 3 years ago. She never heard of Johnny Gill before. Now, if you play a song by Johnny Gill back in the 80s, you'll say, oh, is that Johnny Gill, like that Half Crazy? That's a big song over here. And that song was that was one of his first songs he ever made. But they never heard Johnny Gill, Keith Sweat. And when you play that stuff, they really like it. Okay, let's see. How's the last trap? Said, happy to see how much your channel has grown. We do catch the vids by YouTube notifications. No, I did catch the live notice. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, man. You know, but I owe it all to y'all, really. You know, I'm just sharing my boots on the ground experience. I thought I said that from the beginning. That's all I'm doing. because I was talking to a guy last night. He said, well, you guys seem to have the market cornered on that. I said, no, you're going to have a totally different perspective because he's got a YouTube channel and none of his content, he's over in the Philippines. I'm going to have him on the panel next week if he joins us. But none of his content is about the Philippines. It's about something else. It's about, he's a substance abuse counselor. And he's talking about recovery and stuff like that. And he knows it well. But I said, you can never corner the market over here. They want to see your perspective. People are going to relate to you better than they relate to me. Because I guess he's maybe in his 70s or something. Vince Lawson said it's because there's deals everywhere. I was tempted to buy a condo every time I went to the mall. It's hard to say no. Well, they make it seem easy, but I'm going to tell you, these condos over here are expensive. And I don't know where they're getting the reference points for these prices. I mean, they're way up there. But they'll make it easy now, especially for a foreigner. I was in Robinson Mall, and I was talking to a young lady. They really have rent-to-own condos here. It's not that sneaky stuff they do in America. Don't ever buy a rent-to-own house in America. It's not what you think it is. But over here, you can own a condominium in 10 years, and it's yours free and clear. Now, your payments are going to be $700 to $800 per month, but it'll be yours in 10 years. And that's something that I would seriously consider if I had $700 or $800 that I could afford. Were I single, I would do it. Because imagine, because a good thing about the Philippines, you're going to lock in that price when you buy it. So 10 years later, of course, it's going to be worth a whole lot more than you paid for it. Evan and Gene Travel says you can buy an unlocked cell phone in the U.S. and use it in the Philippines. That's what I do. That's what I did with my iPhone 7S. But there's, if you're just over here calling and texting and getting online, you could buy a phone for 3,000 pesos, a good one, a smartphone. He said, I'm surprised you haven't reached 100,000 subscribers. By now, I know I've been with you ever since I was blocked for 18 months on Facebook. Wow. You got blocked on Facebook? But, it's funny, but when I first started, I was like, wow, YouTube sends you all these analytics, right? And it'll show you that 40% of your viewers are from non-subscribers. And that's really like the norm. I don't know why people don't subscribe. I don't know. It's free to subscribe. I don't know what that whole point is, but it's more or less, some people watch me all the time and they just won't subscribe. And I don't understand it. And it's okay because YouTube rewards you on your views. It doesn't reward you on your subscribers. But of course, the more subscribers you have, the more that base that you build. See, if you're a YouTuber and you're watching this, you just want to build a base. And I got that from my insurance business. You want to build a base of I've got 44,000, but I guarantee you probably only about 1,500 of them are really, truly dyed in the wool, sunshine shoulders fans. And that's all I need, though. That's really all I need is those 1,500 to 2,000. And I can do anything that a guy with 100,000 had. You don't want them fickle people, man, because they're going to come and go. You get you a base of people who see eye to eye with you and they say, yeah, I get this guy. It's that 80-20 concept. 80% of my business came from 20% of my clients, period. It was repeat business. They were going to do business with Calvin no matter who came knocking on their door. The prices might have been less. The product may have been even better, but they're not going to deal with nobody but me. And that's how it is with some of my subscribers. So, big numbers really don't mean a whole lot. Hey, May Filipino blog. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I've been trying to get her on my panel. She won't come. I can't make people come. See, it's just like this. Hybrid 711 says 200 watching, 107 likes. It's free to hit that like button. He says, I don't like that we can't bring our vehicles. I'm attached to 2 cars and a bike I'm really attached to. You can. It's just going to cost you a fortune, right? Probably more than than it's worth. Well, I was talking to Marilyn about that. I said, see, Marilyn's in a situation now where she'll probably be able to get a tourist visa eventually. And when I do go back, I want to take her and Booby back just to see it, obviously, not to live there. But she's in a position now. Now, a friend of mine, Sam McCall, he's headed back to the United States pretty soon. He tried to get his woman a tourist visa, and he said they're not even accepting. They're so backed up that I want to say he said 2024, if I'm not mistaken. New applications. They're that far back. But I wouldn't mind bringing them over there. I do when we can find them, hybrid. I don't eat oysters, but I do eat shellfish. And I mean, they're delicious because what we do is we buy some cheese. They come in a shell. We just put the cheese on them and put them in the toaster. And once the cheese melts, man, they're delicious. If you go to Bentayan Island, there's a restaurant there. That's so delicious. That's what hooked us on it. That's what got us to doing it. Let's see. Music Fanatic said, no one said he was gay, but him, definitely gay. Who y'all talking about? I don't know. Y'all got me on that one. Okay, he says, treat others the way you wish to be treated. Well, I go further than that. I treat people the way they want to be treated. I may not want to be treated like you treat yourself. Treat me like I want to be treated. Because there's a book that's definitely not my saying, but I agree with it. There's a sales book. I can't think of the guy's name. He calls it the platinum rule. What you're talking about is the golden rule. He said, because everybody you come in contact with thinks that they're the most important person in the world anyway. So why not just treat them like that? And man, I tell you what, it paid dividends for me in my sales career. I broke all kind of records. He said, stylistics, what the heck is that? Well, you're too young, man. You don't know real music. They don't have all that. We didn't have mumble rap and all that back then. We had real singers, real musicians playing behind the singers. The songs really said something. That's why they still around to this day. Yeah, hurry up this way again. Okay, Black Nathan Combe. Okay. We didn't know that. I don't see him. Let me get rid of him. Look for that Black Nathan Combe. Get him off my channel if he's a troll. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, here he is. Oh, okay. He's a troll, huh? Well, see you later, buddy. It was fun while it lasted. Yeah. He said, come on, man. You missing a lot. Stylistics is the bomb. Well, Shy Lights. There's all those groups back then. I've got a whole YouTube. Go on my YouTube channel and look at my playlist. Yeah, Betcha by Golly Wow. Come on, guys. You heard of the Stylistics. Those people could really sing back then. Now, I don't know. I mean, there's no way that Chris Brown sounds like that in person with all that auto-tune stuff. Yeah, music was. Now, I love Chris Brown. Don't get me wrong, but you can't put him. They wanted him to do this tribute to Michael Jackson. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not Michael Jackson. You're Chris Brown, and Chris Brown is a bad boy, but he's not Michael Jackson. Because even in his concerts, man, there's no band there. He's singing over music. Because my daughter's crazy about him, and she posted something on Facebook. I'm like, what is this? He's singing along with the damn record. I couldn't believe it. I mean, as big a star as him, is this what we've come to in music nowadays? He can dance, and all of that, but I'm like, come on, man. I remember I was in the 9th grade, and just on a humble, my big sister, she's 10 years older than me. I was in the 9th grade, so she had to have been 25. She took me and my sister that's 2 years older than me. We were on the front row. Brick, the Barcades, and Maze. Okay? Barcades came on first, Brick, and then Maze. I'm talking about we're on the only concert I've ever been on the exact front row. And that's when music was music. I will never, ever forget that concert. Now, back in, I'm trying to think, it's 2007, a friend of mine, he had bought tickets in Dayton, Ohio, to see Boney James and Jonathan Butler for his wife's birthday. But they decided to go to Washington, D.C. instead. So he gave them to me. So I took me and my buddy at the time, partner of mine, friend of mine, named Kerry. And we're thinking, we're going to be way back somewhere. We were on the second row, man. If you ever been to that Phrase Pavilion in Dayton, Ohio, man, they jam, man. I mean, that's real music. It's none of that foolishness, man. Hey, Myth Ringo, thanks for that super chat. He said the Delphonics, one of my favorite groups. The Dramatics. The Temptations. It's just so many. Yeah, but, that was so long ago. And I heard that Rihanna even started it. And the thing about it is, okay, if Chris Brown is 33 now, how old was he then when that happened? I'm not, 14 years ago, hell, he was 19. We got to learn to forgive, guys. We live in a nation, we live in a Christian nation, supposedly. Whatever happened to forgiveness? Okay, Sean, this makes a lot of sense. He said they want to keep all the money to themselves. They don't want to pay backup singers. There's a documentary on Netflix, if it's still on there. It's called 20 Feet from Fame or something. And where they did a documentary on the background singers of all these famous people. They were just as talented as the singer. A lot of the people were backup singers first, and then they got their chance. Yeah, but I mean, okay, don't get this twisted. I'm saying if you 2-star there, you be 2-star here. Anti-Perk. That's what I'm saying. When you get over here, you're going to think, oh, that's a deal. I'm going to go to this 5-star place because it's only $80 a night. Well, you're going to end up spending more money because it's a 5-star in your hometown, maybe $350 or $400 per night. So you come over here and you see one that's only $80 a night or $100. So now all of a sudden you go from staying in 2- and 3-star hotels. Now you want to jump to the 5-star over here. When I'm going to make a point. When I went to Boracay, we were there for 10 days. The first back in 2019, before the pandemic. The first 6 days we stayed in an Airbnb for $10 per night because we didn't go there for the hotel. We went there for Boracay. We went there for the beach, the ambience, all the activities, people watching and all that. We didn't spend a whole lot of time in the hotel room. I don't want to pay for the hotel. I want to pay for Boracay. But some people say, well, you really can't have both for real. You're going to overpay for one of them. You're either going to spend too much time in your hotel and not see what's out there on Boracay, or you're going to spend too much time out there and not get any value for your hotel. So that's the reason why I don't spend a whole lot of money when I go to places like Panglao Bahal, because a couple of my partners they're either there now or they're on their way. They invited me, but I said I can't go. I've got a housewarming in the morning. Rock Harmon, his house is finished. Rock Engineer finished his house, so I'm going up there. But they're paying 7,500 pesos per night at this place. And I was like, man, that's too rich for my blood over here. I was going to go with them, but I wasn't going to stay there. I was going to stay in the one where I stayed before. 700 pesos per night, and it's nice. Aircon, hot and cold water, kitchen, the whole 9 yards, 1 kilometer away from the strip. They're staying right on the strip. And that's that's why we overspend, guys. There's nothing wrong with that if you have it. I don't have account money to spend. Joseph L. says, hey, Calvin, few things not mentioned yet about senior citizens. Have land weight priorities and once a week free movie once a week. Now, I know that that's for people like Marilyn's mother. Now, do you get that as a foreigner? I know you get the land privileges, but see, they were trying to give John, when he turned 60, they were trying to give him a senior citizen card, right? Discount card. He would have got deported for that. You don't get those benefits, guys. But John, they were going to give him one. Well, actually, he had one, but he wouldn't. He said, I'll never use this, Calvin. I use it for ID purposes only, but they get 20% off here. They go to the front of the line. They really get treated like elders. They're elderly. But what do we do with old stuff in the West? We throw it away. Clarence Wilkinson said, yeah, bro, that was real music with heart and soul. What's out today is not recognizable. I still listen to old school music. It's the best music in my view. And that's what they do over here. Unless it's OPM, which is original Filipino music. They're still making that over here. But for most part, Filipinos live in the 70s and 80s with their music. And if you're a woman, they love that boy band era in the 90s. Yeah, they don't know what music was. You know, Luther Vandross, let me go back to him. One of the greatest singers, one of the greatest voices. And, you know, there's a lot of great voices out there. His voice was like an instrument, man. But my father took me to see Teddy Pendergrass when I was 16 years old. It was right before Teddy Pendergrass, stopped men from coming to his concert and was having all women concerts. And they were selling out everywhere. I saw him and Alton McLean and Destiny, if anybody ever heard of them. It was a girl group back in those days. But it was 1979, Cincinnati, Ohio. And Teddy Pendergrass was the real deal. I mean, for real, the real deal. Geechee says, I heard of that documentary. I want to see it. Interesting to me as a musician. Yes, 20 feet from stardom or whatever. And they talking about the background singers of all these famous people. There was one black lady that anytime that on a lot of the Rolling Stones music. She's back there screaming, at singing. The same lady. They always searched her out. Hey, what's going on, Danny? He said, Happy Thanksgiving, Cal. I'm back in Japan, man. I'm glad you made it back. I know you had a ball in Thailand. I want to shout you and Jeffrey Taylor out, man. You guys are real. Y'all part of that base that I tell any new YouTuber about. It's really not about these big numbers, man. I got 44,000, but I guarantee they don't watch me. If they watch me, then my videos would get 44,000 views, but they don't. But whatever reason they watch, if they subscribe, I'm thankful, but it's really my base. And Danny Jackson, Jeffrey Tatter, let me tell you something, man. I did a video when I was in the middle of the typhoon, man. Don't you know these guys, man? They said, man, is there anything you need over there? What can we do for you, over there? And, man, I never forget that because I'm going to tell you, I was scared shitless. Let me be honest. And I didn't know if I was going to live or die. I believe that next day I was still in shock because I was walking around like everybody else. Nothing was open. Taxis passing you by. It really was, man, it was a time. It was the only time I ever questioned myself why I was here. I was like, wow, man, if I have to put up with this, would I still be here? Hey, Music the Motion. He said, hello again. Mike M says, I'm looking for a city to play tennis and golf year round. How much for memberships to the Canadian winners? Well, in Cebu, now over here, I think it's the same. I think it's something like 200 pesos to join or something. And it is very cheap for the tennis, to play tennis here. And they got a real nice tennis club here. They finished it now, the renovation. I'm going to take y'all around one time and show y'all. Clay courts. They got the clubhouse and all of that. It's very cheap. Now, golf, of course, in Cebu, they've got the golf courses. They got them in Boracay. I don't know about that. They've got one in Cebu because Sydney, we drove right past it. He was thinking about going in to inquire about the membership, but we never did. But it's in there. Sperling Edwards, thanks for that super chat. He said, hello from Ilo. I haven't made it over there yet, but I want to. This is a fact. Talent is just a part of the equation. And I think that's what gets a lot of people. It got my daughter. My daughter had the talent. She could sing, she could dance, but she didn't have the work ethic. She just wanted to show up in the studio whenever she wanted to with no practice. I went out and got a voice coach. She just didn't want to put the work in. I said, you're talented, but you're not that talented. I said, if Beyonce practices 6 to 8 hours a day, what makes you think you don't have to do the same thing? But you're right about that. It only takes you so far. And I've met a lot of people like that in all walks of life. In the insurance business, they had the talent, man. They didn't want to do the work, though. I learned a long time ago. It's really not they say it's a numbers game. But in insurance, I don't think it is. I think that it's just like my first manager told me. He said, Calvin, stop selling people stuff and start helping them. He said, if people wanted to buy something, they'll go out and buy it. Stop selling stuff to people. And that resonated with me. And I did. I stopped. I started helping people. I really started giving them full disclosure about the policies. And, because they would ask me, well, how's this going to help me? Because a lot of times they can't see the true value and the true benefits of the policy. Or they may not even know it's available out there. So I did. I started doing that, man. And the rest was history, man. I mean, I started earning money that I never even knew that I could earn. Mr. Ma said there's still great music out there. The technology available just means that more untalented nitwits can try their luck. The cream will still rise to the top. Yeah, but a lot of times it's not a whole lot of new artists breaking out and being introduced to us. And this is what we're talking about. See, there's people in control of the music we hear, Mr. Mod. I'm pretty sure you know that. And that's why a lot of untalented nitwits are coming on our airwaves. They've got to deal with the record company. If you don't have a deal with one of them big record companies, you don't get the time of day on the. How is somebody going to hear about you on YouTube? Yeah, Gladys Knight and the Pips. Yeah, they stole all her money. They were family. Well, she was a gambler too. Yeah, Al Green. Yeah, it's just so many, man. And when I got over here in the Philippines, that's how it was here. It's now still like that over here. Y'all remember? I'm trying to think of the young lady's name. I don't want to say Charisse, but she's a man now. She changed her identity. She's Zyrus something now, Zeke Zyrus or something now. But she was on Oprah, and she was one of the greatest singers in the world. She was on that level of, not Whitney, but, Mariah Carey, not Mariah Carey, but right underneath that, she was. She's making a comeback now as a man and can sing, man. She's really good. She's a great singer. I'm not going to say a good, but a great. And I'm so thankful that he's making a comeback. Because a lot of good music is still over here. They call it original Filipino music. And you hear it. You said, we like karaoke, guys. Yeah. And they like people to come over here and they can sing. Yeah. Teddy was on top. Remember, he was young. I read his autobiography, Truly Blessed. He was only 31 when he had that accident. But because I was young at the time, 18, I thought 31 was old. No, he was very young when he had that. And, basically his life was over. He died, several years later. He said, who is the best medical insurance for expats for the money, and what city is the best medical facilities in our main concern? But you have the best medical insurance for you. Okay, self-care is the best health care. But I know what you're saying. But your insurance is not going to do anything for you if you show up with a massive heart attack at the emergency room. No matter how good the facility is or the doctor is, they're not going to be able to save you. That's what happened to John. Believe it or not, he showed up at Ace Doctors Hospital, which is a big, gigantic hospital with competent doctors, and it's a competent facility, but he was in too bad of shape. But I really don't know. You got to look out there. They've got Pacific Coast? What is the name of that? With Michael Onstad, he can help you with that. But I would say have something over here, even if it's bare bones, and then have some savings. Now, Manila, I did a study on this. I researched this. When you go to these urban cities, okay, the healthcare is as good, if not better. It's on the same level as when you're at home. It's when you're outside of Manila, Dumaguete, Davao, Cebu, General Santos, and Wanga City that you run into trouble, because a lot of hospitals and clinics are understaffed. But as long as you stay near Next Pet Alley, you got a chance. And if you're taking care of yourself, you've got a chance. But most of us, we don't take care of ourselves. By the time men show up at the emergency room, it's too late. That would go a long way. And remember, your money doesn't buy your insurance. Your health buys your insurance. No matter what insurance it is, health or life. Your money, it's your health, not your money. Isaiah Allen says, I was curious about how your progress is going learning the local language. And once you become familiar enough with it, do you plan to use it to interview Filipino men or women? And Luther was a beast. It really not going good because I really dropped the ball. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult, man. I'm going to just be honest with you. To learn a language, especially when you don't absolutely have to. Would that give me an advantage? Absolutely would. But it would also put me at a disadvantage too. Because what I don't know won't hurt me. A lot of times you go in places, they're talking about you, but you don't know it. So it don't bother you. That's why the guy got killed here. There was an American guy that got killed here, not far from here. He was in a local bar, and a couple of drunks come up to him and asked him to buy them a beer. Well, he said no. Well, they start talking about him in their language, but he understood it. And he got mad and he got, turned into an argument. The guy pulled out a gun and shot him in the head. The guy was drunk to begin with. See, if that would have been me, they would have just been talking about me. First of all, I'd have bought them the beer. That's just me. Okay, it doesn't, my life is worth a whole lot more than 120 pesos or whatever it was. It doesn't make you a simp, a sap, or a wimp. You're pretty smart to do that. Guys to say, because once they would approach me, they drunk, hey, buy me a beer. Here, I'm on my way out the door. Because I'm not gonna drink around locals anyway. And I wouldn't suggest you do it. People when they get drunk, I don't care where you are, they start saying stuff and doing stuff they normally wouldn't do. So yeah, they get to arguing. And there's that super chat from Sperling. Thanks again, brother. And they do stuff that they normally wouldn't do. But this guy knew the language. I believe it was Ilongo. Yeah, for the Stones. She was pregnant too when she was doing that, when she sung that. But yeah, I basically dropped the ball. But see, Maryland, all the Messiah that I know, Maryland taught me. The other women I dealt with, they never taught me anything. Maybe Salamat or something like that. Marilyn actually sat down with me one day. She wrote down like maybe 20 phrases. And all those 20 phrases I still use today. See, I can learn like that. I can't learn listening like that. So now, even though I can pick up bits and pieces of their conversation, but not enough to interview anybody, certainly not enough to answer anybody. Now, if they say something like Asaka, it means where you going. I'll pick up on that. What's going on, Manila Thriller? Hey, Hybrid 711, thanks for that super chat. He said 44.4 thousand subscribers. Great work, Cal. Thank you, man. But that's y'all behind that. That's not me. And I'm truly grateful, man. I never take that for granted. Yeah, in different, it doesn't affect all the Philippines. And this is one of the myths I try to break through. Every part of the Philippines doesn't even get typhoons. There's some areas that are more susceptible than others. Mainly central Luzon, the Bicol area up that way. Eastern Visayas, like Lady, Samar, Bilaran. You're going to get hit. I promise you that. You're going to get hit. Oh yeah, Pacific Cross is what I said. I said Pacific. What did I say? Did I say Pacific Coast Cross? Pacific Coast is what I said. Yeah, Shaka Khan. I mean, it was so many though that you can't even name them all because I'm like, where has R&B gone, Mike? I remember growing up when the old groups went out. Here's a whole new set of new groups coming around. When the Jacksons came out, and you know, then the Osmonds, then the Silvers, then it was just groups replacing groups. Now you may have, I don't even know who would you even consider R&B right now? I don't know. Yeah, Jake Cyrus. Yeah, Charisse. Yeah, that's her name. You're right. Yes, it's Jake Cyrus now, but he's making a comeback because I'm gonna tell you something. Charisse was about ready to kick the door open and let all the other Filipino singers through the door when she made that, you know, that personal decision, you know, and then they counseled her over in America. But she was there, man. She was getting ready to kick that door wide open and let all the rest of the great Filipino singers come running through there. But they counseled her after that. But she's making a comeback as a man because, man, he can sing. I don't. Now, where are you, Mike? That might make a difference. Now, I do hear them damn motorcycles at night. I don't know what it is. They like to crank them 125s up to as far as they can go. That'll keep you up at night, Mike. I ran into that problem down in Zamboanga because the damn hotel was right by the street, and man, they cranked them damn motorcycles up. I mean, it's just really loud. Oh, come on, man. Get the hell out of here. What are you talking about? You some kind of troll. Talking about show P a little more respect. I do respect the young lady. I never put her down. Well, you know, that's good. That's great for her. I'm thankful for that. But don't come on here with that, man. Get rid of this guy. He's obviously a troll. I don't show her a little bit more respect. Yeah, you tell her to show me some respect. I respect all my YouTube community. Show her a little bit more respect. Who is she? She put her pants on the same way I do. Get off my channel with that foolishness, man. I was trying to start something. Show her a little bit more respect. How much more respect? What do you want me to do? Kiss her damn ass? I said that she's got a wonderful channel. She's very successful. I don't have anything bad to say about her. What else you want me to do? These clowns like you, man. You know, y'all keep them Filipino vloggers way up there. You know, the guy said, well, where's all your support, Cal? Where's it? They went to those Filipino channels that I'm supporting, and it's okay with me. DDD Trump says, hey, I learned a few words before showing up in Cebu, and just throwing out some one words in local language brings smiles to their faces. It does. It absolutely does. I was at the gym. They had pizza. I shared this the other day. And I said, no, they offered it to me. I said, no, I'm Basug. The guy said, man, he pulled me aside. He said, you know, I'm so happy. It makes me feel good when you try to speak our language. You know. Hey, Keith White. He says, happy Thanksgiving, Cal. Cheers from Bingo Nation. Hoo day. I lived in Cincinnati for 6 years. I loved it, man. I really loved it. And I worked for a company called Stigler Supply Corporation. He was a Jewish guy. See, they think, you know, we don't like Jewish people. It's not true. I don't have anything against anybody. I deal with people on an individual basis because growing up black, don't put me into the same basket with the Hitlers of my race. Yeah, some pretty bad black people, but not all of us. But I worked for Joe Stigler, and he treated me like a son. He co-signed for me on loans. He co-signed for me on a car loan. I mean, when I was the delivery guy for his company, and when the manager left, he promoted me to manager. I was a young guy, but they treated me like family. Now his wife was a little different. She was more. Joe was the man because he was out here in the public. He was more around the customers, around the people. His wife was more spoiled, so she was more standoffish toward me. I was just an employee to her, but me and Joe had a great relationship, man. My life was so much better in Cincinnati because of that job. Yeah, ignorance is bliss, man. They come over here with that stuff, and then they'll take it over to her channel and say, "Oh yeah, I told Calvin that he needs to respect you more," as if she's gonna, that lady. I go on her channel and look at her comments. All these guys, they so hungry and thirsty. She doesn't even reply to you guys. Hey, Tony says, I hear you. Thanks for the super chat. He said, I hear YouTubers give opinions on how much to pay for rental house, but I never hear how to find the rentals. Is Craigslist, Facebook, where to look? No, I would come here and I would ask the locals. They know every house that we've ever rented, an apartment in St. Carlos City, in Cebu, it was always through word of mouth. It was never, ever on some listing, some Facebook or something. Because when you go to those listings, what's going to happen is you're going to get these real estate people. And they're going to push the cost of your rent up because they get some type of commission. We ran into that in St. Carlos. We were going to rent a house, and hell, we looked at it and was like, well, why is it? I forgot how much it was, but Marilyn's like, because she's putting her commission on top of it. She said, but you don't want to do this. But Marilyn said, well, if we come back by ourselves, maybe the rent is lower. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But it's usually just word of mouth. That's what I'm saying about people here now. We need to share our experience more, Tony. Somebody has a good deal somewhere on their rental, their condo, their apartment, their house, that they can help you. But we won't help each other. We're not like Filipinos when they go around the world and they come together and say, hey, you need a job? You need a place to stay? Blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. We won't do that. We'll come over here and we'll be sitting on some good information and we'll just hold it. We won't share it. And that's what I'm asking people. So, man, we need to share more. We need to give more feedback. It's not just I'm just one guy. There's only a handful of YouTubers out here, Tony. But it's so many more people who watch us who can do a whole lot more good than we can, but they won't do it for some reason. They won't even come on the live stream and say, hey, man, I'm renting a nice place over here, Tony, for $15,000 in Cebu. Check it out when you get here. Yeah, I know it's a bait. Yeah, I know it's a bait. I can recognize it, but a lot of times I like to call people like that out. Just to let them know how stupid they are. Because a lot of these guys, they're thirsty for P and all these other women, and these women don't give them the time of day. If you think I'm lying, go on there. See, you'll see that they think, I'm a bodyguard for P and I need to take up for her. And the woman don't even know you exist. Show up over her house and say, hey, let me stay all night, P, like you can do over here and see what happens. See, I'm real. I'm just a real live individual. Okay, Vince, he said, yeah. Vince Lawson said, yeah, Unc, that's what's cool about Gerard. He has worked with all of them old school artists. Check his magazine out, featuring the Temptations and James Brown. I'm headed down his way Saturday, whether I go to Sikiho or not. I'm going down there and I'm going to interview him. He's going to interview me. He's got a lot of good information, and I'm gonna apologize to him because by him being on my live stream, those trolls are starting to come after him. He doesn't deserve it, guys. Come after me all you want. Leave guys like him alone. He hasn't even gotten a chance to get off the ground yet. These people have no heart, man. But see, here's the problem is he made a response to that troll. These guys don't really know who they're messing with. See, because they're hiding behind, they're either 8,000 miles away or hiding behind the screens. They don't know. It's going to be their undoing. They're going to end up talking about and talking down to the wrong person. Yeah, the Four Tops. Brother Edwards says, I use Facebook under the marketplace for condos and houses. I would rather just do it word of mouth. Let me see that. What is that? That's not jail, is it? No. Oh, okay. Oh, she's coming in here? Yeah. Well, hell. But she's going to do my feet. No choice. Yeah, George Clinton. Yeah, but see, the problem with going on Facebook and all that, you're going to run into those real estate agents. And it's okay to help them out. But sometimes it can really push your rent up a little bit more than you want it to be. He says, I work for Lesnar Corporation, a Jewish company, and they were good people to work for. Yeah, you see, I saw Kanye West on, I think this guy's name is Lex something, but he's a Jewish guy from Russia. He's got a big channel of following podcasts. And he just said, I get what you're saying, but why don't you start saying names? Why don't you start talking about who these people are instead of saying all Jewish people? See, and that's what I'm saying. He said, why don't you start naming names? Quit trying to make it like it's all Jewish people, man. Hell. But Kanye West wouldn't do that. Yeah, you need to, even your girlfriend, you can ask her and say, hey, find me an apartment. She's going to start asking around. They're going to say, yeah, they're over here. It's not like in America where you go by. They may have a little sign for rent on the gate that you probably pass 10 times and you don't see it. You're not going to have a big sign in the yard for rent and all of that. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I must have missed it. Let me go back and find it, brother. XXX. Okay, come on in. You can do my hand first. I've got my manicurist in here. I won't let anybody do my hands and feet except Jennifer. She's one of the best. You ever in St. Carlos City? I was at a place last night, and they wanted me to get my nails and feet done. I said, no, I'm not going to do it because I knew Jennifer was coming over here today. Wow, XXX. I don't. You must have been way back here, man. I didn't see it. But that's oh, here it is. Thanks, brother. He says, hi, when are you going to do the Stilapina video? Well, we were talking about the Stilapinas. I'm going to have to do a video about that then. A Stilapina is just a Filipina who intentionally tries to steal you from your girlfriend or your wife. And a lot of times it's somebody in her family or one of her friends, somebody who knows your situation. I told you about the first foreigner I ever met over here. And he was sending money over. He had a girlfriend over. He was sending money, coming to see her. Well, the first cousin, pulled up on him and said, hey, she's got a Filipino boyfriend over here. And all that money you're sending over here, she's spending it on him. Well, what happened was she ended up marrying the man. They've been married for about 16 years now. They got a little daughter. And see, she hit the jack. He's rich. And so she was a Filipina though. She knew what she was doing. They don't want to get on the dating site. They don't want to roll the dice. They already know that you got money. They already see the good that you're doing. So they want to guarantee, just like the damn expat. He's never going to come to the Philippines, but he wants a Filipino woman. So he'll wait until you bring your wife over there, and he's going to do everything he can to take her. Robert Dame says P got a start on Geo's channel, just like Calvin gives a start to his panel visitors. Absolutely. I mean, I think that's what we should do. I'm not going to disrespect anybody, though, and everybody knows that. No, there is no animosity toward her, man. See, there you go. Why would we have any animosity toward a woman who's trying to help people? Yeah, Lex Friedman. That's his name, Robert. Thank you, brother. That's right. Yeah. Tita Chas says, Calvin, I know you don't see race and color, but these trolls are attacking black vloggers because Filipinos are not judging us like they are. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand why they came at Gerard. It really hurt me, and I feel responsible because he was just on my live stream. That's all it was. But this just shows you how spineless and cowardice these guys are. They have no content, so they'll go after an innocent guy like him who hasn't even got his channel up and off the ground yet. And I saw where they said the raw facts is getting ready to come out of him. For what? What that man done? But see, these guys, I promise you, man, y'all don't believe it, but I do. I put it out in the universe. For the universe to put these guys in front of me. And you're going to see how much of a cowards they are. Because, they can easily say, hey, Calvin, let's go out for a drink of coffee and we can talk over whatever it is they don't like about me. But no, they want to sit behind a screen and throw out all these lies and all this slander and libel. Well, we're going to see when you see me in person. And it'll be worth me getting deported. Because I go somewhere else. Hey, Cedric, he says, hey, big bro, do you ever have alcohol massage therapists come to your house? I do. We had 2. And San Carlos City needs a good massage therapist. So if there's any Filipino massage therapist out there, if you really want to make a killing, you come here because for some reason they charge 500 pesos here. I don't get that. You go to anywhere else, it's 300. If they charge you $350 for an hour, that's expensive. But they charge you $500 here, and it's really not worth it. We went last night to a place where, it turned out to be a beauty salon with how you going to have a massage bed in a beauty salon with all the noise, all the lights? It won't work. And guess what? They wanted $500. I said, no, I'm sorry. But yeah, we do. And most places will have an on-call where they'll come to your place. When the last time I was in Cebu by myself, I used a place, I can't think the name of it. Now, when they come to your house, that's different. It's probably going to cost you $400. But for me to go to your place here and you charge me $500, The best massage I've probably ever had in the Philippines, in my memory, me and Marilyn were in Bacolod, and we stayed at the El Fisher, and they have a massage place on the 4th floor. And both of us went to sleep. XXX. Thank you for that super chat. Said, thanks for reading my chat. You're an honorable gentleman. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Sometimes it sneaks by me. And Auntie Perk says, yeah, those haters like Mike and the guy from the Raw Fact, they have their day coming for sure. Yes, especially Mike. I don't understand what his motive is. The next video I make about another vlogger will be my first. I just don't do it. I don't have to do it. I'm in the Philippines where there's so much content, man. That really doesn't take a whole lot, man. And for you to bash somebody like that, I mean, you're bringing trouble to yourself. Why would you do that? I don't get it. Because, he's really going to bark up the wrong tree one time. And then a lot of times, it don't even have to be the guy. It could be one of his subscribers to see that slimy stuff he's doing and slap him upside his head. Which that's all he needs is a good slap to his big-ass head. Hey, Dr. Mod 2.0 says, gotta have the bland massage that you find in the malls, 250 pesos for pretty much a full-body massage. I like that when I'm at the port waiting, or in the airport, or at the seaport waiting to leave. I do that all the time. It helps them, and they give pretty good massages. But I've got a good one in Dumaguete. I won't go back because I told you Maryland had a bad experience there. I mean, it was a good one. But I'll never go back again because she had a bad experience. But any big city, you're going to eventually find, I would go to 2 or 3 of them because you're eventually going to find a good one. Get his or her name. Then when you go back, you ask for them. And they don't mind. Remember John, he's the chauffeur bodyguard that I did the interview with in Cebu. He knows a place right up in Mandawi City, right across from Park Mall. It's only 200 pesos for an hour, and they're very good. Yeah, I'm not promoting violence. Don't put that in my mouth. I'm not promoting violence. They're promoting violence. Stupid. By slandering people, that's promoting violence. But they think people are going to just keep on sitting back, taking that from them. Eventually, they're going to push somebody too far, and it's going to get them in trouble. Look what happened to your buddy, Andy Omar, Joe Bennett. Get him off of here, Mike. He's nothing but a troll here, promote violence. Those guys are promoting violence by slandering people. We're over here having the best time of our lives over here. Hey, Coach East, 233, thanks for that super chat. He said, happy Thanksgiving, Cal. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. Are you on the hamster wheel today? Yeah, they're making content about me, and well, it's not really weird because these guys, I promise you, they're secretly in love with me. They have to be. Why would they do that? But yeah, get rid of that Joe Bennett guy. He's over here talking about don't be over here starting promoting violence. Well, you tell them to shut their damn mouth. Because eventually that's what's going to happen. Yeah, too late, Joe Bennett. Yeah, he said guys bringing hatred, man. It's just pure jealousy. I have nothing. I have everything to lose by going back and forth with these guys. That's why I don't go on their channels and comment and all that. I have everything to lose. They need me to bring them up to where I am. So they think I'm going to, fight them, and they're not. They need a beef from me. I don't need them. I love massages over here. I hadn't had a massage in my whole life till I came to the Philippines. I can't afford them. At the YMCA, the $30 for a half an hour, $60 for an hour. So that would be like coming over here getting 3,600 pesos for an hour massage. But see, that's the point of being overspending. See, when you come over here and somebody says, oh, I give you a massage for 500, you're going to say, oh, that's a deal. No, you're overpaying. When you can get a good massage for $250, $300 at the most. Yeah, they want to be me. That's all I can. Yeah, XXXX. He says it's funny how people try to police you on your own live stream. I mean, even in my own life, who has time for that? But yeah, guys, it's 12 o'clock. I've got my, look, I got Jennifer over here doing my nails. I thank y'all for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up. I may have another meet and greet sooner than I expected. But what I'm going to do is something different, guys. We're going to do island hopping. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, look, I got to see how many this boat holds. And then I'm going to give you a chance to reserve you a spot, you and your woman. And you don't have to do nothing but show up. We're going to have the food. We're going to have the beer. We're going to have the water, soda, everything. And I think I want to do my next meet and greet that way. Because it's really nice.
The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Yeah, Cherry, I try my best, man. I'm a human being, though. And for the most part, I don't. But, sometimes enough is enough. And, my moderators, they slip through. A lot of these guys slip through my moderators today. And, but, enough is enough, man. I'm just a human being. And for the most part, I do ignore them. Okay? But one of these days, they're going to be right in my path. And they're going to hope, they're going to be so happy. They're going to regret the day that they mess with Sunshine Shoulders. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay COVID free. I'll see you next time.